Thank you for joining us today for this session on accelerating the digital supply chain from idea to support. My name is Alan Porter, and I am the Director of Product Marketing for Nuxio, a content services platform. And really want to talk to you today about how really your content is a significant and important part of the overall supply chain when it comes to meeting the current demands in the terms of customer experience and customer acceptance. So let's get into it, shall we? As I just mentioned, current demands for things around customer experience are changing. There are definite shifting patterns for consumers and business today. The shift in the work patterns to a greater proportion of people working remotely has continued to build reliance on digital experiences, and the need for systems to support that while enabling business continuity and growth has really been fueling the ongoing acceleration in digital transformation projects around the world. Today, we really have to get information about our products to our customers quicker, consistently, and with more relevance and more accuracy than ever before. We believe that the answer to that is what we call product asset management. This is really a new strategy that takes content beyond the marketing department. Digital asset management platforms are traditionally seen as solely focused on managing rich media, images, and video for marketing applications and especially websites. But we believe that these assets actually have a lot of really great information in them. And really, we believe that representing the next step in the evolution beyond digital asset management is product asset management, an approach that takes the content beyond the marketing to really connect content, data, and assets across the whole organization. The idea really is to improve the customer experience, improve the bottom line by accelerating your ideas and your content to market by connecting your digital assets to data throughout the content and product lifecycle, all the way from idea to support. And building a more effective digital supply chain will lead to an increase in the customer experience value of the assets around it. One of the ways that we're seeing a lot of our customers do this is by actually embracing things like 3D technology more. In today's environment, it's very difficult for somebody to actually go into a physical store or meet with a supplier and actually pick up a piece of material and get the feel of what it looks like, look at it from all the angles and so forth. And by embracing things like 3D, which we already have in the product, in the product value chain, in the digital product value chain, it makes it easier for somebody to recreate that in a digital environment. And with a content services like platform, you can actually manipulate 3D file sets, use parts of the 3D file sets, and really build that into the content supply chain for things like e-commerce, servicing of products, helping with virtual product design, packaging, web previews, and more. So based on our experience, this is really where the 7 touch points where we, across the digital content supply chain, where we believe that intelligent assets can provide the most value. If you speed up the time to market in each of these, then the cumulative effect can be really high. And you can do that while providing a consistent digital process or a consistent digital experience, all the way from thinking about the materials, what do they look like, and then connecting that to who are the suppliers, the pricing, their availability, doing things like digital swatches, so you're not actually having to move physical products around anymore to get between sort of a materials library and the design team, doing things like virtual product design, connecting that to product specifications, doing prototyping, virtual prototyping, again, reducing the need for actually creating and shipping physical models. That can feed into things like developing this marketing campaigns around it, making sure that you have the right information for the right season, the right usage rights, that your product release timing and your marketing campaigns are fully aligned, helping with photo studios, doing more, as I said, around 3D, virtual photo shoots, and also linking it to things like supply, sample management, and making sure that you're delivering the right samples to the photo studio, location and logistics, understanding who the usage rights around any models that you may be using or contracted with, where you can use certain images for certain locations, certain cultural ideas, can all be linked together. And this can also feed into the packaging to make sure you're using the right imagery and the right for the right product in the right country, the labeling info is correct, the localization is correct, you're meeting the local legislation, and then all the way down into the post-sales environment, sales and post-sales, we're making sure that the folks who are dealing with your customers have the right product knowledge. They know about the product, they know when it's going on sale, they know the right product options, and they know where the content, what content the consumer or your business partner or supplier may have actually already been exposed to further down the supply chain. So they know where content has been used, in what way, who owns that content. And just as importantly, when information needs to be retired about a certain product. So really, these are, as I said, are the main 7 touch points where we've seen customers make real improvements. So the idea really of a product asset management platform strategy is really putting together a content services platform, not that becomes the sole source of the relevant data, but rather the collection vehicle for marrying your product data with the content as part of the overall approval and digital supply chain process. The idea really is to build a process accelerator that's pulling data from systems that are not currently integrated and associating that data with the core content, so project teams can collaborate with a complete set of information and a unified space from beginning to end. Sure, you can build other connections between other platforms, but that tends to be a long and involved. I mean, a lot of custom projects often taking 18 months or more. With a combination of Nuxio's low code and REST API, such integrations can be done and be in production in a few months, giving you a much faster path to value and a common environment from which to manage the connection between your product data and the content that drives that to the market, all in one place. If you think about this as a more practical example, normally an image is just answering the question of what is something. It tends to be fairly static, but when you think about it, an image has got a lot of data involved in it. If you this could be by connecting it into systems such as a PIM or a CRM, CMS, talent management, legal, rights management, all using the same metadata. You get all the systems using the same language across the content supply chain. In this way, we can place the content in the context of the product and make sure that the right content is delivered to the right customer to answer questions around who, when, where, and with the addition of things like well-designed AI, maybe even why. These all come together in a digital content supply chain that connects upstream creative activities with storage and management all the way through to delivery. And by placing the assets at the center of the product lifecycle and connecting the data from other systems, Nuxio customers can gain competitive advantage and drive revenue by really accelerating the time it takes an idea to get to market and be able to support it with fully informed customer experiences. This product asset management approach means that you can pull data from systems that are not currently integrated and associate that data with the core content, as I mentioned, so you can all collaborate in one place. And as I mentioned, sort of AI and machine learning, at Nuxio, we really have this concept of actually having business-focused machine learning models, generic commodity models that you can run to really mine your existing assets or even look at your new assets. And you can get basic things. So if you think about this from a company selling fashion products, generic AI will tell you that this is a piece of clothing, maybe even that it's a jacket and it's made out of a G material, but it won't really tell you the things that matter to your business, such as which exact product is it, what's the SKU, what other products would it normally sell alongside with. So when you're on building e-commerce, you can build a related products, recommended products thing, what material it's made of, who that material supplier is, who the model in the photograph is, what rights do we have to use our image, what marketing campaign is this image related to, when are we doing the product launch. All those things, as we've shown previously, can be pulled together in a content services platform like Nuxio, and using the Nuxio Insight business-driven machine learning to really pull the information that you have out of a lot of your visual assets and connect it and drive the business metadata that goes around it to really improve the value of your assets and their use across the whole digital supply chain. As I said, the idea really is to place your rich media assets at the center of your digital supply chain as a connecting that content with the data and the assets across the organization. That way you can deliver consistent, exceptional customer experiences where your customers and suppliers and vendors are getting the right information, they're getting it consistently irrespective of which platform they're on. They understand how it fits with the product that they're looking at, what that product's made of, where it is in the life cycle, the SKUs associated with it, and all that other business information that you may want to share. So Nexio really sits at the center of connecting your content and your business systems and creating it and bringing it to market. So the idea really is to connect your existing data and content sources so it flows across the product life cycle, builds a collaborative environment, and you get consistency of message and an accelerated workflow. If you think about those 7 touch points, if you just have a small amount of savings in each of those 7s, the cumulative effect can be really drastic and impactful. And when you're creating information, think about how it maps to your digital life cycle. Who is providing product information that can drive into the creative? How can the creative assets be used both upstream and downstream, not just for their traditional uses? You can start to build an improved, consistent customer experience by making sure that you're delivering the right product information in the right market at the right time to the right customer on the platform that they want. And you get higher customer engagement and retention, and that really helps drive bottom line revenue. So thank you for your time. I hope that was useful. I hope it was thought-provoking, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that folks may have. Thanks again. Bye.